Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jess. Okay, so thanks so much for joining us this evening, or as I said, whatever time it is for you out there. We are more than happy for you to come and spend a little bit of time with us to talk about, a really important topic, which is registration. We all want you to get into courses for 24 winter. And this presentation specifically is for those folks out there who are continuing year one. So that would mean you've already done maybe some courses at UBC in engineering and you're coming back for a second year one. And I know my colleague Rumiko is going to get into it a little bit more, but just wanted to preface that to make sure you're in the right spot tonight, that is this workshop. All right, so let's get into it here. Okay. So I would love to start off with a land acknowledgement. I would like to acknowledge that UBC's Point Grey campus is on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. The land is situated and has always been a place of learning for the Musqueam for a millennia, who have passed down their culture, history, and traditions from one generation to the next on this site. Okay, and today I am joined with some fabulous folks. So my name is Tiffany Kanda. I'm one of the academic advisors with Engineering Academic Services. Perhaps we've met before. If not, I'm always happy to meet students. With that, I will pass it on to my other colleague, Jess.
Hello, everyone. I'm super happy to be here with you guys today. I am the student support specialist here in the EAS office. So it's very likely if you have an inquiry that we will be in touch. I will be behind the scenes today answering some questions for you and making sure that everything runs smoothly. So we will be activating the Q&A shortly, and I will be in touch with you there. I will now hand it over to Rumiko, one of our advisors.
Hi, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Tiffany. My name is Rumiko Tachibana. I am one of the academic advisors, associate academic advisor for the EAS student. And then I am very happy to hosting this session today. And then I'd like to start talking about what we're gonna talk in this session. So let's flip the slide. Okay, so overview of this workshop. So we cover the following topics today. So who are continuing year one students? What are the conditions? How your registration will look like as a continuing year one student? Registration on Workday, common questions, and the second year placement. Okay, let's start then talking about continuing year one student. Okay, first of all, so who is a continuing year one student? So who continuing year one student is a BASC Applied Science student who have took courses at least one winter term and not yet eligible to promote to the second year. Continuing year one student can be in a good academic standing or on academic probation. Okay. So what is the condition of that do I need to or do you need to meet in the 2024 winter session? So like if you are in academic probation, that means your GPA was between 50 and 60% in this 23 winter session. You need to register and attempt at least 24 credits in 2024 winter session, and then has to be 12 credits in each term at least, but maximum 15 credits. And also receive at least 55% overall GPA by April 30, 2025. If you are in good academic standing, that means your GPA was above 60% in 23 winter session. You need to register and attempt at least 24 credits in entire 2024 winter session. And if you are a CFA student, Then your condition or accommodation, including the reduced course load for 2024. If please talk with the CFA advisor and inform our office by August 16 that you'd like to have the adjusted reduced course workload for the 2024 session. And then that those conditions mentioned above will be reflecting that your CFA condition. Okay, so now let's see how this year's registration will look like for you. So the registration difference for 2024 compared to your 2023 winter session. So that the major difference from your last year registration is you will need to register in waitlist. So that will be explained more later. And also from this year, we start to use Workday. So that will be also that the major difference from the last year. Okay. So when continuing year one student register at the, the continuing year one student register at the same time as year one student. So your registration will open sometime between June 24 to June 27. That is the next year. I mean, sorry, next week. Okay, so that all things about registration, course planning. So I assume most of you have already talked with an academic advisor for 2024 course planning, but if you haven't done it yet, please contact us. Okay. And then continuing year one students prioritize to complete remaining year one courses, and then add a few courses such as humanity or impact requirement or upside 201, which is a technical communication course. You may maybe want to, or like also wants to try taking a second year courses that are common for most of our specializations, such as Math 253 and Stats 251. The course selection will depend on the specialization you aim to go. And then you might want to take a course for minor if you are also considering to do it in the future. So continuing year one course planning really depending on each of you, and then customization is needed. So once again, if you have not talked with the advisor yet, we strongly recommend you to talk with someone before your registration open. So please contact us. So now I'd like to share with you the quick chart of the how you will be registered on the year one courses this year as a continuing year one student. So except Math 100 and Math 101 and Words 150B, please add yourself to the waitlist, and our registration team will manage registering you to those courses. So for upside 100 and 101, it's a little complication. So if you have passed upside 100 and failed or didn't complete upside 101, you are permitted to take upside 101 2024 winter. If you have failed upside 100 and failed upside 101, you are needed to take both upside 100 and 101 in 2024 winter. If you have failed upside 100 and passed upside 101, you are welcome to register for the waitlist and ask Mimi about what's going on, what you will do. And year one courses have to be prioritized to be completed before starting the second year. Okay, so the next slide is about the humanity and the social science requirement. And impact requirement. Okay, so that you can try registering to the humanity, the general seat that's available for in that humanity courses. If it's full, please be on the wait list or take another course. And remember that you need to attempt at least 24 credits in 2024 winter session So if you decided to be on the wait list for humanity course, we would encourage you to pick up one or two more alternative courses so you will meet the credit requirement even if you do not get in the course. So that is kind of safety net for you. And about the impact requirement, we explain more later in the next slide. And APSC 201, Upside 201 is a technical communication course. Not all programs accept this course, so please check with an academic advisor first, depending on the specialization you want to go. So for this course as well, register in the waitlist, and it all depends on the seat availability. Okay. So let's talk about the impact requirement. So the impact requirement is part of the complementary requirement. And then the course is listed in our EAS course planning website. Most of the programs accept a course from the list, except GB and environmental engineering. So if you'd like to go to these ones, be careful about it. We do not recommend year one students to take upper year courses because those courses will require more advanced academic skills. So the lower level courses and no prerequisites, the courses that does not have a prerequisites are like Upside 262, Civil 250, DS, Design 130, Design 230, and Plan 211. So these are the courses, kind of, I would say, the safe to take in the continuing year one. And now I'd like to share that the chart that common upper year courses for engineering students. Also, there are a few common courses among engineering programs. The list is available in our continuing year one website under course planning and common upper year courses. And you can see exactly the same chart as you just seeing on the screen. Depending on the specialization you want to go, you try to take these courses, but we want to be aware of the risk of taking these courses before you are actually placed in that particular specialization. So taking these courses doesn't mean that you will be accepted or you will be placed to the particular specialization or being prioritized in the second year placement, unfortunately. So like for example, the Mass 253 is popular. I mean that it's a common course, the most common course among the most of the specialization, but the MEC, for example, doesn't accept this course. Or if you are thinking either taking like a Mass 255 or 256, it's also depending on the specialization you go, but not all the specialization is accepting. So that's a risk needs to be considered. And also, you will need to satisfy the prerequisite to take these courses. So if you're missing a Math 101, for example, the Math 200 level math courses will not be available. Okay, so that this list of the prerequisite will be also useful for you. And the slide will be sent to you in in a few days, or be available on our website after this workshop. So student can take Math 200 instead of Math 253 if intending to complete this requirement in term 2. So there are some flexibility or the alternative choice. So if you are not sure yet, please come to talk to us. And then I'd like to pass over to Tiffany now.
All right. Thanks so much, Rumiko, for leading us through the ins and outs about course registration when it comes to being a continuing year one student. And now I know that there's lots of complexities and potentially a very individualized schedule for all of you. and you've maybe already worked with an academic advisor to put that together. Maybe you got a few other ideas from today and what you can have. Of course, as Rumiko said, please come talk to us as well. We're happy to help if you haven't had that conversation with us yet. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for a little bit is let's talk about Workday. I know that you all have done a registration winter session and maybe even summer session in SSC, and we are saying goodbye to that system at the moment and hello to Workday, which is a new system. And so that may, add some differences when it comes to how do we register. So let's talk about it. So Workday, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how to see your registration appointment. Maybe you are asking yourself right now, what is a registration appointment? We're going to go over it in a second. We're going to talk about saved schedules. What even is that? How to build one, tips, tricks, maybe how to register off your saved schedule. Maybe just how to register in courses, period. That might be something you want to know. And then troubleshooting. I think something that we all would want to know if for some reason it goes sideways, what do we do about it? You can see here, there's a screenshot on this slide. This is that landing page for Workday tutorials for all UBC students. There's absolutely, some of the slides or images from that website appear in today's workshop, but there is so much more. So if you ever get stuck or want to learn more about Workday, please head to this tutorial page. It will be absolutely super helpful. All right, let's talk about it. So registration appointment, what is that? Where to find it? All of those things. The registration appointment is that date and time assigned to you when your portal will unlock, that gate is open, and you're able to finally formally register in classes. Now, as it was for the last system with SSC, similarly in Workday, there will be the winter session where we get to register, and there will be the summer session that we get to register. We will remain registering in the winter session in the June, July time period, as Rumiko's already let you all know, and hopefully you knew too. Next week is registration for first year students for the winter session, and that's both terms, term 1 and term 2. For summer, that will remain in kind of the end of February, early March for summer session. So we're not registering in summer right now, just winter session. And so you can see here, there is some explanation, some information, as well as some screenshots on how to find what is your date and time. So if we go to academics, and that's going to be and going to remain under your top apps in Workday. So I would really encourage you to locate that. It's going to be that go-to location and item for you going forward here. So log into Workday. We get to go to that under your top apps, that academics tab. We're going to go from there, registration in courses. You can see sort of that second screenshot, that blue square rectangle around that there. And then we can see your registration appointment date and time. We can click that open, the screen will open. You can see that down below in that screenshot. As I just mentioned, there is, of course, for the winter session, you all know this well, term 1 and term 2. And so there will be listed 2 registration appointments, term 1 and term 2. Do not worry, the times will match. So it will just list it twice, the same date, the same time for both of those sessions. That's how you figure out what's that date and time that you get to register officially. Of course, as always, once that time passes, you can, of course, register afterwards too. We really encourage you to register close to that date and time, though, if possible. All right, let's talk about saved schedules. Now, this is very much akin to our work list from SSC. Saved schedules is that version of vocabulary in Workday. And so you might have heard about this before. If not, I'm so glad we get to talk about it with you today. So as I have here, the same concepts as work lists. It allows you to plan potential options, those timetables. We want to see that conflict-free schedule. I'm sure you would all like a conflict-free schedule. It helps, really do that pre-planning to get to registration day. You get to click one button, everything will hopefully successfully register for you. So that's our plan here today. We're all about seamless registration days. So let's talk about how to make it a little bit more seamless for all of you. So we want to find courses. That's the first thing we need to do, of course, to save anything into a saved schedule. So once again, you can see here, we got to log into Workday. We need to go to our new best friend, the academics tab under your top apps. Once again, back to registration and courses, that tab in the top menu, you can see it there. And then you can now see on that far right-hand side, way over here in this screenshot, it says find course sections. Now this is that list that in a second is going to pop up for us, and we're maybe going to be able to see lots of courses. But before that happens, we have another little pop-up screen that comes up to us. We need to pick a start date. And so funny enough, we first got to select future periods because September is in the future. Even though maybe it doesn't feel too far in the future, it is. So we're going to select future periods. You get an option of term 1 or term 2. We can only pick one, so we're going to be maybe going back and forth. So for this screenshot here is term 1. Of course, you can select term 2 and another one. And then we got to select undergraduate because that's who we are. We are undergraduate students, and we're going to hit OK. From there, this is where that list pops up, and we are able to start typing in courses to find. And as you have done a great job, just as Rimako talked about all of that wonderful course planning, the first year courses, maybe we're taking Art Impact, maybe we're taking some common upper year courses, we get to start typing those in. Now, it may be one of those things that we're going to use our detector sleuther brains to remember, and perhaps we'll use this slideshow, the PowerPoint too, to remind ourselves, okay, which term is, Math 253 in? That's in term 1. So most likely we need to be in the term 1, find our course sections, because if we're in term 2, it might not come up. That would be really unfortunate. So we're going to have to use some of that and maybe go back and forth. So we're going to be typing in courses. Maybe it's AppSci 160. We need to take that course. And luckily it's in both terms. So it's going to pop up in both searches. And so once we find that course we need to take, maybe it was AppSci 160, we pop that open, we click on it, and you can see this other screenshot here to my right. It's going to come up. And if we're doing this before our registration appointment time opens, we're awesome. We want to do that pre-planning work for seamless registration day. We can see that the Add Saved Schedule button, really orange, you will not miss it at the bottom, will appear. We're going to be able to save that to our saved schedules. And so if we click that there, it's going to give us a little bit more prompts because you can make multiple saved schedules. So potentially maybe this is your first one, and so you're going to name it something like option 1, or maybe it's going to be my favorite one, whatever you would like, of course. And so we can also, though, say we already added a course to a saved schedule, we are able to add it to that option that we've already made and created one. And you can see here there's a couple options there, so both creating or adding to a pre-existing schedule. It's going to also prompt you to add all course sections, all course things. So you might remember with AppSci 160, it's not just the lecture. There's that lab, tutorial discussion, extra section there. And we need to add that along with the lecture sections, right? We can't just say, you know what, we're just doing the lecture, we're not doing the other half. The system will force you to add everything. And that's a good idea, right? Because we want to be able to have, a schedule that we can see, we want to build, have conflict free. So we need all of the options available. So we're going to select all those things that are available to us. We're going to add the course sections. We're going to hit that done button, that big orange button at the bottom there, and that's going to add it to our saved schedule. And from there, we're just going to continue to repeat. We maybe are going to go back to the find course sections report. We're going to find another course. We're going to add it to our saved schedule and keep going with that. I want to bring this to your attention, of course. So there could be open seats and there may be waitlist seats. And you can see in these two screenshots under the status, which is 1, 2, 3 down, there is open and there's waitlist seats. Of course, as you may know, Our fourth year registration happened a couple of weeks ago, so it is possible your favorite humanities out there may be all taken already. Maybe it isn't, but there is possibility that you're going to start seeing these open or waitlist seats. Have no fear. You're welcome to, of course, still add that to your save schedule. As you can see in these screenshots, the system gives you that option, but sometimes it's good to have a little bit of a backup plan just in case. So just to bring that to your attention as we continue forward in registration as well. A little bit of tips and tricks on how to build our save schedule. So not a bad idea to have maybe a couple screens going. We have our searching, we have our save schedule that's already coming to be. So we can say, okay, what courses do I have? What open, times do I have? So I can build that conflict-free schedule because there also is possibility, as you just heard from Rumiko before, those first year courses, a lot of them we're going to be eventually registering into the waitlist for. And so it is possible that we need to leave some room, right? We can put them on our save schedule, registration day may come, and it's going to put us on the waitlist. So we need to make sure we still hold room for those courses though, because we would like to take them. We want, of course, that conflict-free schedule, as I keep talking about. The save schedule option will let conflicts happen. So the system at the second isn't smart enough to say, oh dear, you're going to have a conflict. It does when you get to registration day. Click register and it will say there's a conflict. So in order to maybe let's avoid having conflicts and having a good registration day, take a look at that. Just make sure there's no conflicts in your save schedule. Have a few different options, classes fill. You are all experts at this. I am more than certain you've ran into this problem before, maybe trying to take that favorite humanities class and it filled up. So have a couple options just in case. If an alert pops up, be that detective, start to sleuth out what happened. Is it a prereq issue? Is it a co-req issue? Did I forget to add the discussion group with this course? What's going on? If you can't figure it out, come talk to us. We're here to help. The add drop deadline is September 16th, January 17th. So there is time. You all know this. There's time to add and drop classes as we go. So no fear in that. We will get there. Okay, so you've done all this hard work. You have pre-planned. You have a couple save schedule options. We're getting to registration day. And we would like to register on maybe our favorite save schedule. And so when that registration appointment opens up for you, you will see at the bottom there of the save schedule that orange registration button is going to appear. And you are able to click it. And that is when your hard work is achieved. You will hopefully be super successful in your registration and everything will register. Now, let's see here. There's 3 different options. So we have unsuccessful, waitlisted, and successful registrations. I hope to hear and see that most of your registration experiences will be in that successful registration bucket at the bottom there. If we have that top unsuccessful registration option, that's when we put our, detective hat on once again and start to say, okay, what happened here? Is it maybe I don't need a prereq? Is it maybe I forgot to add that lab that is associated with the class? Because if you don't, it won't let you register because both things have to be registered together. Maybe it's something else entirely. And it also might just be something that we can't figure out. And that's okay. If we can't figure it out, come see us. We're happy to help trying to troubleshoot with you as well. That middle, which is the waitlisted registration, super possible that you may see a few options in this, especially if it's those first year courses Rumiko showed you. We're expecting to see that we will be waitlisted in those courses just because of how the seats are set up. So initially, those are reserved types of seats. They're not general seats. And so because they're not general, we're not able to directly go into it. You might have remembered last year when you went to register, you clicked the button, you got all of your seats, all the STT seats back then in SSC. System's a little different this year. However, the concept is the same. Those direct entry students, so their first time at UBC in first year, they are registered, they will have those seats, those reserved seats. And then eventually we'll be turning them into kind of those more general seats and getting those folks off the wait list into those seats. So the first point is we're going to be on the wait list. We're going to hang tight as our registration team is working so quickly and doing their best work behind the scenes to help get us into those classes. And we can expect that that's going to start to happen probably in mid to late July, that we're going to start to see some of those movement in those first year engineering courses specifically. When it comes to the successful registration bucket, I hope that's most of your other courses. If not, come talk to us, but let's hope for that as well. Okay, so potentially, you know what, maybe it was you were waitlisted for that humanities course you were really excited to take, but oh dear, the seats filled up. And you're like, you know what, maybe I'll take my second favorite humanities class. And you don't want to go back to your safe schedule to do the whole thing again. You just want to go to the class. And so absolutely, you are able to go to that Find Course Sections report, type in that favorite humanities class. You can get to it right there. And you can see there's two options once your registration appointment opens up. It's that add to safe schedule. We've already done that, so we can forego it. We want to register right into the course. Looks like there's open seats. We're feeling good about it. We're going to quickly just give a glance to make sure we meet the prereqs, all of those fun things, and we can click register. Now, what if the register button doesn't appear? That could happen. And if it does, a kind of white troubleshoot button appears. Feel free to click on that. If it, comes back with something that you're like, I am pretty darn sure I have this prereq, come talk to us. We're happy to help. We're happy to also troubleshoot with you. We're here to help with all of this that is going on. Last but not least, we keep talking about support. Well, we are here to help, as I keep saying. Certainly, refer to the continuing year one planning page you might already have. You can also read about our registration FAQs on our website. Those are there to help you out along the way with this Workday registration world. As I already plugged too, the Workday tutorials page, awesome to check out if you haven't yet. Of course, we are running quick questions or a virtual drop-in service twice a day right now through the registration period. That's both 10 to 12 and 2 to 4, the Pacific Vancouver time here. So jump on with us. We're here to help over Zoom. As always, we have appointments. You can come physically to our office or email us. We're all here to help. We're going to help answer your question as quick as we can and get you on your way. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Ruko here.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, thank you, Tiffany. So let's talk about some of the what if scenarios. And then the first one is what if I do not get in the course I want? And then we have that good question that related to this question. Since we have to register for courses on the waitlist, such as Physics 158, how is there a guarantee that we will get off the waitlist and into the course? So I maybe start to answer the question, like the specific question first. For the first year courses, that the waitlist is serving more likely like that the placeholder. So we want to know like who wants to register in the particular course, how many people, and then as you might already know, our engineering timetable is very tight and then very complicated. So, and our hardworking registration team is working behind the scene and then place you to those courses you need to take in those like first year courses. So like about the first year courses, please don't worry too much about that you're on the wait list. Because like we have a seat for those like first year applied science courses. But for the second year courses, if you want to take, for example, the Upside 201, or I would say Upside 278 or 279, those courses are a bit different because that's a real, like when you are on the wait list, because, and then that works as like a real wait list. Because those courses are second year courses, second year student has a priority to register in courses. So I would encourage that the continuing year one students to make a plan B or plan C even, and then make it prepare that if you are not able to take that 200 level courses, then what is your other courses you might want to take, especially upside 278 and 279, that those courses are popular, at least for the couple years, and then not everyone could get into the course. So I would encourage you to make a plan, alternative plan for the second year or second year courses if you incorporate those courses into your planning. And then again, please come talk with us. Okay, what if I have a registration block? So the reason why your registration block can be seen on the Workday. So if you are in academic probation and haven't met with an academic advisor yet, your registration is blocked. So please contact us, and then also prepare for the academic planning document that you receive via email sometime in the middle of May when you receive the notification about academic probation. And then once you talk with the academic advisor, that the registration block is going to be released. And if you're on a financial hold, that is also block your registration. And if you are not unsure about this a financial situation, then please talk with your enrollment service advisor. For other reasons, if you do not know why you have a registration block, contact us, and then we can figure out together. What if I don't want to register in engineering courses? And yes, we do understand that that happens sometimes because you are in the engineering for the whole year, and then well, it doesn't look like what I wanted to study, or you find something more enthusiastic to study. So that from I would like to advise you you will need to talk with the faculty advisor first if you want to transfer out to the different faculty. So if you want to go to science, go talk with this faculty of science advisor. If you want to go to business, go to the business advisor. From engineering side, we do not have the a rule that the how can I say? I would say yeah, we do not have a rule to we do not kick out the student who do not following the engineering program. So you can take the courses outside of the engineering curriculum, but it is you have to be aware that if you are not taking the engineering courses, but you are still engineering student, if that your plan to going transfer out to the other faculty doesn't work well, then you're a year standing with engineering is stay the same. So you will need to take that courses in future to complete that degree. So yeah, it is kind of normal that because you do not take that the engineering courses, you're not gonna have academic progress in engineering. So that is a risk that students need to think if they decided to take the courses outside of the engineering curriculum. If you'd like to take a few of the non-engineering courses along with the missing year one courses and upper year courses, please come and discuss with the academic advisor about the course planning. Okay, next question is, what if I have a loans and, oh, sorry. Okay, what if I have a loans and needs to be added to courses? So if you have a certain credit requirement for student loan or scholarship, please come and talk with advisor, and then we can discuss the options with upper year courses, potential minor, or taking the other courses. So yeah, please contact us as soon as possible. And then my last slide will be about the second year placement. Okay, So to be eligible for the second year placement, you probably already hear about these conditions, but the student need to complete at least 27 credits of 37 engineering first year curriculum. And then minimum has to have 55% GPA in 2024 winter session. So for those who are in academic probation, they need to satisfy the probation condition as well. So when you take 24 credits in 2024 winter session, the 2024 GPA is the one used for the second year placement. For you apply in May 2025, so your 2023 GPA is not considered. So you start from the brand new, and then the 2024 grades matters for that second year placement. And all continuing year one students need to attempt at least 20 credits in 2024. And if you are with CFA, a Center for Accessibility, and have a reduced course load, then again, please let us know by August 16th. If you have a question, just contact us. And I think this is the end of our slideshow. And then questions
Yeah.
with, yep.
Questions with us. My goodness, thank you so much, Rumiko, for that final piece there. Always, yeah, there's so much to cover in terms of the different common questions we get into second year placement. I know so many people are so interested with that. So with that, questions with myself, Rumiko, and Jess here. And I think everybody who has sent in questions already, which is awesome. You are more than welcome to post other questions at this moment too, if you want those answered from myself, Rumiko, and Jessica. So I am happy to kind of take the first one here. So somebody has written in to say that there is no waitlist options available to register for the first year physics courses. Should we register into the ones with the status open? Will it work? Great question. So right now, absolutely save those. If it's, physics 157, 158, 159, or physics 170, save those onto your save schedule right now for sure. How these courses are set up is when you go to register, the types of seats that are out there aren't general seats. They're certain reserve seats. And so you won't meet those reserved specific eligibility requirements. And so when we go to register, it's going to waitlist you. And so it automatically will put you on that wait list, which is good because it's indicating to our registration team that you would like a spot in that class. And so that's when they're going to go behind the scenes. There are, as Rumiko mentioned too, there are seats kind of behind the scenes that they just need to help students get into, just because you don't meet those eligibility of those reserved seats initially. And so just hang tight. We'll get there. We're going to get through those first year engineering courses specifically. Have those seats, unless it's Math 100 or Math 101. As you saw, those have general seats, so you're welcome to go right into those seats for engineering.
Okay, then I maybe answer the next question. So to summarize, we are likely to get into year one courses, and we just might face problems with second year level courses, and are advised to have a backup. In my opinion, yes. But so that there are a few courses like I just explained, Upside 278, 279. I remember that there are some students who had needed a backup plan for these courses, but and then Upside 201, depending on the term, that might be full. So yes, please think about the backup plan for these courses. But our registration team is really super helpful and then very hardworking. So we do make an effort, try to accommodate everyone. but that's depending on how many people want to take the course in that year, and then and also there is like the room capacity that's abiding like the regulations. So uh, depending on the situation, that might not happen. So yes, like a backup plan for the second year level courses, that's gonna be like a very helpful for you, and then not gonna be upset in when the registration or when the course started in the September or the January. So yes.
Yeah, super fair. Always good to have a backup plan. Hey, Rimiko.
Yeah.
All right, so we had a question before that said, since we have to register for a course on the waitlist, such as something like Physics 158, how is there a guarantee that we will get off the waitlist into the course? Super fair question. Certainly, as we've talked about this evening, the first year kind of core engineering classes, we do have enough seats for all the folks who need that out there. Absolutely follow some of those guidelines that Rimiko shared previously around the AppSci 100, AppSci 101 situation, if you passed or failed that class or what's going on for you specifically. If you're not too sure about those classes, come see one of us. We're happy to help kind of decode that situation for you. When it comes to maybe courses like words or the first year English, humanities, the impact course, the technical communication course, those common upper year courses, all those things we've talked about, those are a little bit more open-ended, right? So we don't have per se, the prediction of how many students are in, needing these courses, because there could be lots out there. And so, if you have that favorite humanities, certainly that'd be great to register right into that as soon as registration day comes. But it's good to have that backup option, just as Rumiko just mentioned with those upper year common engineering courses. Great to have, that plan B in your pocket to say, hey, if this class fills, what do I do here? You all know this well. Ad drop deadline is a long way away. And so there's lots of things that can happen between now and then. And so absolutely possible. We see movement in classes. People maybe have different plans. They don't want to take that class anymore, or, things just change. And so class space seats become available. And so absolutely, you're welcome to, keep yourself on that wait list. Certainly, if you're on that wait list, that indicates to our registration team or another registration team that you're interested in that course. So if you no longer are interested in being added to that course, make sure you remove yourself from that wait list so then they don't, add you in to the course if you don't want it any longer. So be mindful of that. But certainly great to have that plan B in your back pocket. If you're not too sure what that plan B may be for you, come talk to us. We're here to help maybe think of some other solutions that can be working towards your end goal of whatever that engineering program you hope to see one day, where Rumiko, myself, and our colleagues are happy to help. Ready.
Okay, we got one more question. Do we automatically get off the waitlist and into the class, or would we have to do that manually? So that's automatic. So once you get the registered to the particular course, then you're not gonna be on the waitlist anymore. Don't worry about this.
Yeah, great. Super fair, Rumiko, that there is the waitlist options that for like our first year engineering courses, absolutely. We will get you we will be adding you to the course. So just as I said, if you no longer want that course, you're on the waitlist, then certainly maybe remove yourself from that waitlist. There are courses out there, and do look into this. Maybe it's your humanities elective. Some courses out there have what's called automatic waitlists. And this is a new feature with Workday. And this is on kind of those Workday tutorials I spoke about. You're welcome to look at this, where there's waitlists enabled out there that will automatically give you that option. And so you're able to then, say yes or no to that waitlist spot if that waitlist has been enabled by that registration team, that department, to be an automatic wait list. And so there are some out there. Our engineering courses are not. So that's something just so you know, or at least I should say the first year engineering courses are not. Perhaps some of our programs have elected to do that, but in terms of some other departments out there, absolutely, there can be. So do look into that, and accept your seat if you're offered one, because it sounds like that's something you would like. Alrighty. So folks, if you have any other questions, you're welcome to post them now. I'll give us another few minutes here. And if not, then we will end it there for today. Awesome. It looks like we don't have any other questions here today. So I think, oh, apologies. Apologies. I went too quickly. Here's another question. How does the transition from waitlist to registered happen? Is there any way to influence the times or courses end up that we are on? Okay. Yeah, great question. So certainly this is where you would go to the course that you are hoping to take. So if that's that AppSci 160 course, you're able to add that specific section to your safe schedule and then register onto that. It will put you to the wait list because, as we've talked about a few times, we just don't meet those kind of seat specific eligibilities. And so it will be that specific section. And so that kind of indicates to our registration team that you're open to be considered for that course in that specific time. It also really helps when you leave that spot available in your schedule because they're going to be looking for it. We don't want to create any conflicts either with some of these registrations. So if you are trying to get into the AppSci 160 9 to 10 class, make sure you also leave space for that on your schedule too. Awesome. Alrighty. I'll give it another beat for any other questions because we're happy to answer them today.
If you have more questions, you are always welcome to come to our quick questions or email us or book an appointment with us. So yep, please feel free to contact us. We also have a drop-in advising if you're in Vancouver. Right now, it's not too busy, so you probably do not need to wait and then can meet with advisor pretty quickly. So yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today. We are looking forward to seeing you all back in September or sooner if you are local. We're always happy to see our students or virtually too. Thanks so much for joining us today, but we'll end it there. If you have any other questions, as Rumiko said, please contact us. We're here to help. But yeah, happy registration.